From the mystical breeze in the morning till the dawning of a new day.
Greetings and welcome to the Sisa Lel show on Bless Radio, and you can find us on www.blessradio.org. Now tonight you can also find us on the YouTube at Bless Radio 1 for anyone who wants to catch up on shows that they've not missed out or live stream from here. Now tonight we have on the show, a little later, we're going to play you a couple of tracks first. We've got Angie from AGA Global Associations with us to have an interview tonight and share with us her journey and what she's been doing. But before we get into that, we'll start with a track by Queen Amiga, and it's called Blessed.
So blessed, oh yes, I'm so blessed, yeah. I saw myself walking a lonely road with no one else to help me along my way. Was so blind, clearly now I see, walking with His majesty. So free I am, know that I found my way. This to please the Most High every day. Oh yeah, and it feels so good to know that I am blessed. Shout it out with me if you're living a life stress-free. Who Jah bless me, so no one curse. Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Blessed, shout it out with me if you're living a life stress-free. Who Jah bless me, so no one curse. No, no, no. I know you've been through so much pain, working so hard on the little that you've gained. The hand to mouth, you're in the pouring rain. There is a shelter, there is a shoulder you can cry on. Any mountains together we can climb on. I'll be a friend you can rely on. Just put your trust in the conquering lion. He missing no one curse. Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Blessed, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress free, ooh, Jah bless me, missing no one curse. No, no, no. I'm living my life with a purpose. Keep my eyes open and I stay focused. Survival is a must, but it ain't easy. Hotter the battle is the sweeter the victory. Nothing in life should be taken for granted. Just like the trees by the river that was planted. Creator of the heaven and the seas, maker of you and me. We're blessed, shout it out with me. If you were living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. No, 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 no. Oh, we're blessed, shout it out with me. If you were living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. No, 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 no. I'm blessed from birth. I know what my life is worth. Yeah, 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 yeah. So blessed, so blessed, so blessed. Shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. Shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. Blessed you are if you're blessed from birth. Blessed, shout it out with me. If you're living a life stress-free, who Jah bless me, so no one curse. No, 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 no. So I'm blessed from birth, oh. I know what life's worth, yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessed,
This next track coming up is Black Kamolo and it's called Breaking Down Barriers. Sending this out to Lulu.
No matter what I gone through, pressure and tribulation, Jah gives me positive vibration. Living and loving our lives, living and loving our lives.
Only way we are gonna make this thing work. Iron sharp my iron in the earth. Oh Lord, love is honesty and that we put first. So you are gonna say the truth hurts.
So barriers we break them down. Jah love come make it spread it around. Africa we sailing home. Jah children come along. Barriers we break them down. Jah love come make it spread it around. Together with this wailing song. The white, the red, the black and the brown.
So clinically we are trying spiritually. We rising up the youths from the trenches and the alley, no folly. We got our work just to do, Mama Africa's a calling you.
Stepping natural royal, back to Mama Africa, back to we roots and we culture. Jah love, surrender. Power of the Trinity I conquer. Break them down. Jah love come make it spread it around. Africa we sailing home. Your children come along. Barriers we break them down. Jah love come make it spread it around. Together with this wedding song. The white, the red, the black and the brown.
The news they feed us on the TV is poison for the brain. All I see completely, fraud is what they claim. So I beg you look deeply. Many you lose and few again. So we must collaborate and stop the hate to climb the lamp and them up on the shade.
So barriers we break them down. Jah love come make it spread it around. Africa we sailing home. love come make me spread it around. Together with this wedding song. The white, the red, the black and the brown. Stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Leave out the road, leave out the road.
Stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Need to go home, leave out the road.
Oh, stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Want to go home, need to go home.
Stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Leave out the road, leave out the road.
No matter what I gone through, pressure and tribulation, Jah gives me positive vibration. Living and loving our lives, living and loving our lives.
Only way we are gonna make this thing work. Iron sharp my iron in the earth. Oh Lord, love is honesty that we put first. So you are gonna say the truth hurts. Yes, all my life, it's all my life. I've given yes all that is worth. Yes, we always have to give a thanks for the things He provide from this earth. So 2 heads better than 1, 3 better than 2. Treat your neighbors like yourself, are the best you can do.
1, 2, 3 in a holy trinity, forward in a identity. Break them down. Your love come make me spread it around. Africa we sailing home. Your children come along. Barriers we break them down. Your love come let me spread it around. Together with this wailing song. The white, the red, the black and the brown. Stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Leave out the road, leave out the road.
Stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
Need to go home, leave out the road.
Oh, stepping in a Gideon, stepping out of Babylon.
This is another one by Queen Amiga, and it is called Road to Zion.
Treading, I am treading. Treading the road to Zion. You must have been tough like iron. And when you're treading the road to Zion,
This one is by Fakir Amlek. It's called Love the Life You Live, going out there to AC.
Of the sun unto the city night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rising of the sun unto the blessing night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rasta woman, love your life. Prophet, love your life. Peace, love your life. Your life. Nothing the way Jah bust the wall and let me go. Climbing up the ladder, Jah carry I home. Rastafari powers we reveal and make it down. Mystically deep the power but we never feel down. Radically, sickly prayers go round. Chalice it is burning, bingy drumming all around. Frankincense rising like the smoke from the chillum. God around, all around. Rasta man, love your life. From the rising of the sun until the setting night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rising of the sun until the blessing night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rasta woman, love your life. Prophet, love your life. Priest, love your life, your life.
Big up to 273. Thanks for that flash.
Farina, poor people, tired of the struggling. Yeah, Rastafari blessing. Well, what was it?
Sorry, that flash is very northern.
Life is what you're offering. I rise, cream, dominion, umbrella, love it. Yeah, I come for it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No one would make me stop give praises, 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 yeah, yeah. No one could make me stop give praises, 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 yeah, yeah. Rasta man, love your life. From the rising of the sun until the setting night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rising of the sun until the blessing night, love life. Rasta woman, love your life. Blessing shower down right overnight. Yes, I, Rasta man, love your life. Rasta woman, love your life. Prophet, love your life. Priest, love your life. Your life. Lion, love your life. Warrior, love your life. Lioness, love your life. Shower down right overnight. Yes, I love your life. Rising of the sun until the blessing night.
Greetings, greetings. When we're back in the studio now, I hope you enjoyed those tracks. And we're here with Angie, for those of you who've just joined us, who is from the from the AGA.
Global Ambassadors.
Yes, Global Ambassadors.
Greetings, family. Greetings, greetings. Rise up to our community and our extended family, both home and abroad.
Fantastic. Now, Angie, you do quite a few things as projects and run charities. So how did this journey start?
Just to correct you before I start, I do quite a few things as my duty and responsibility.
Okay.
So they're not projects to me.
Projects, okay.
It's what I do and I enjoy it. So, wow, how did this journey start?
Yeah.
Well, the journey started for me when I met my husband now, who is my husband now. So, you know, when we came together, we had a passion for returning to the continent.
Okay.
Because along the way, for me especially, growing up in this system, born and growing up in this system, I never really knew who I was.
Okay.
Because the school system never taught me my history. And I was one of those young people that never connected with history lessons. I didn't know why at the time, but I know why now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we came together, and you know, he wanted to go, and I thought, like, okay, how can we start? Where can we start on this vast continent? And I did some research. And what I did for his Earth Day, which is in October, we always go away.
Okay.
So I said, we're going to start with the continent. So I asked 10 random people, many moons ago, over 15 years ago, if you were going to start on the continent, where would you start first?
Yeah.
And those 10 random people told me the Gambia.
Oh, all 10?
Every single one.
Okay.
Random, different spaces, different times, the Gambia. So, as I said, that was over 15 years ago. So I organised the trip, planned it from the January for his Earth Strong, which was the 31st of October. And we went out for a week.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And he got off the plane and he kissed the ground.
Oh, that's
Kneeled
beautiful.
down and he kissed the ground, and I looked and I thought, wow. And we had a week of, I can't even explain it, but you know when your shoe fits?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how it was for us. So because it's our home, we naturally flowed
Okay.
and interact with the locals. You know, although we went as a package, we rebelled against everything to do with the package once we were there. One of the things I must say, though, I'd like to state, is on the plane going over, I questioned whether I was going to Africa, because there are more Wazungus than us.
Yeah.
You know, and for those that don't understand what I mean by Wazungus, those that didn't look like us. So I thought I was going to Spain. So that was interesting. So I thought, oh, best kept secret, you know. Anyway, we progressed from there, and we kind of said, you know, after the week, we need to come back. We returned and we said, right, how can we get our people to go to the continent? And we know that the television shows us negative images
all the
of
time.
the continent, you know. And so we said, well, how can we do this? Most of our people are not going to want to go on their own, so let's do groups. Let's organize a group trip. So in 2006, we did our first group trip.
We have a caller.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1 moment.
Already? I haven't even got into it yet. I'm going to move faster.
Greetings, caller. Greetings. Welcome. Greetings. Can you hear us?
Greetings. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Greetings. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Angie's has a face of recognition there.
It's my right hand.
Oh, okay.
You know, when we get to, I'm going to get to AGA Global Ambassadors, but this sister, I wish I could clone her.
Okay.
And give her to other organizations, because she knows how to organize.
Wonderful.
Isa too.
Greetings, Sister Angie.
Greetings, Isa too. Lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, do you want Isa to stay while I carry on?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Is that okay, Isa too?
Of course. Of course.
Sister, yeah. So yeah, moving on. So we did the first group trip.
Yeah.
As AG Associate Tours, and we, when we did the trip, we had 40 odd people, and one of our clients was an elder of 82 who said she'd always wanted to go to Africa.
Wow!
So we were really honoured that we were able to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Then moving forward from the group trips, so we've done them from then to present.
Yeah.
We realised there was a need. In terms of supporting schools, we were donating on the trips. People were bringing items, books, pencils, and so on and so forth, small items for families. So we realized, moving swiftly forward to 2014, that we needed to demarcate. So we need to kind of separate the tours, and then form the initiatives.
Yes.
And we did that in 2014, and AGA Global Ambassadors was born.
Okay.
Yeah, so AGA Global Ambassadors, we then realised, and because we are a group, the committee are individuals that had been on the tours with us.
Yeah.
And saw the impact we were having, casually, just doing what we're doing, and wanted to support what we were doing voluntarily.
Fantastic.
So we never spoke about money.
Yeah.
We never thought, oh, we need to get the money to do this.
Yeah.
We thought, well, people are donating to us on many levels. So goods, time, skills, and support. So we thought, well, let's make use of that. So we started to get the donations. I was storing them in my mum's house.
Yeah.
Then the room was full, and I thought, I can't do this here now. Let me get a storage.
Yes.
And this was just myself and my husband of today who were doing it. Had a storage for 7 years, and I was just mounting up the things, and I, and the next stage was to get them to Africa.
Okay.
So we self-fund.
Yes.
In terms of our committee, we make a contribution, £15 a month. Myself and Sister Isa too, we really kind of take on most of the financial, but even though we pay for the shipping, that's our largest outlay, we don't really think about the money, because the benefits far outweighs what we do, because when we collect the items here, sort them here, pack them, give them to our Gambian shipper, rise up to Adama, because we couldn't do this without him, then at the early stages, we would then fly out to Gambia and we distribute all those items ourselves.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
So nobody, interjects. So, but now where we are, we have a committee in Gambia. So we have a committee, so which duplicates what we do here. So when we collect, sort, pack, transport, the committee in the Gambia now, because we have a log of every piece of donation that we send out to the Gambia,
wonderful.
like a bill of lading. Isa 2 will tell you a bit more about that in a moment. In fact, Isa 2, you can tell her about that now.
Hi, Isa 2.
Greetings.
So would you like to tell us about that site?
In terms of the donation?
Yes.
So we collect the donations in the community, and often we have regular donators, people who've donated over time, and they just continue to donate. We get donations from schools, hospitals. We had a large donation from a family member to one of our committee members last year towards the Health Day, which was of medical goods and over 3,000 books. And we seem to get an awful lot of books, and we sort that here, and we do that inclusive of the committee members come, and we make a collective team day of packing and sorting and logging the items, and then we prepare them for shipping. The 6 committee members on the ground in Gambia are responsible for receiving the donations, the safe storage, and then handing out to the beneficiaries. We also hand out when we are on the ground as well.
Oh, okay.
all of the beneficiaries need to sign for what they receive, and also give a statement of how the actual donation benefits them, their family, or those that live in their compound.
Give thanks. Thank you, sister. Thank you. This is a wonderful. It's such a large operation that you manage, and it involves a lot of people and a lot of levels. So, how have you found working with people within the infrastructure there compared to here to be getting those things moving?
I see too.
So, it's an initiation period, like with any relationship or partnership. And then I guess in the beginning it felt like a challenge in terms of the language barrier and the different way in which we do things and how we organize. However, it's become a benefit to both organizations, the community, both here and those who receive the donations in the Gambia, because we're learning to communicate better. We're learning more about their culture. They're learning more about us. And we're able to share our skills. And, you know, we're not changing what they do, but we're adding benefit to what they're doing already and empowering them. So it's become an excellent partnership, in particular with some of the health organizations and schools that we have. And it's been you know, we've learned. It's, you know, we organized the health day here in the UK, and that was actually done in the Gambia last year, and it worked very well. We had a team here and we had a team on the ground, and we communicated by social media, had regular meetings and regular updates, and it worked very well.
Fantastic. So when you found you were working with people and starting to see things come together, and more and more people got involved and it started to grow bigger and bigger, did that start to expand your vision, or how did it develop from there? I
always have a vision. Anything that I'm doing, I think it's very important to say this as well to our community. If you haven't got a plan, you're planning to fail. The vision is my fuel.
Yes.
You know, it's my driving force, because I've achieved many visions in my lifetime.
Yes.
And, you know, if you don't have that to work towards, then there's no point, because you're going to experience challenges along the way. That could probably say to you, or interference, that sometimes can give you that mindset, oh, I can't be bothered. No, that for me personally, and I know the committee members, the brothers and sisters that we're so fortunate to have around us, because they say like attract like.
Yes, that's very true.
And what I've also realized with us as an organization, if you allow and recognize the value in the individuals, because we're not, you know, we can always find things to complain about. But what I love about AGA, Global Ambassadors, we value the value in each of us.
Wonderful.
You know, so it's key to organizing. A lot of us can mobilize, we can bring people together, but in terms of organizing and functioning, it's a different level.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the things I just want to say, sister, in terms of what the key element is here for AGA, that's kept us going, in terms of sustainability, we have, our foundation is based on our values.
Yes. Very important.
We all have them, but some of us don't recognize that. So for, and Isa's going to be, she'll test, this is a test now for me. And I always get the first one, I always kind of have to think about the first one that begins with C, but it's commitment. Second one is honesty.
Yes.
Accountability.
Yes.
Integrity.
Yes.
And respect.
Wonderful.
The acronym is CHAIR.
Yes.
Those are our values.
Yeah.
Everything that we do, both here and in the Gambia, has to reflect those values. Now there is a consequence if it doesn't. And even in challenging times when we're doing decision making, or we may not agree on things, because it's not always smooth, you know. We go back to our values. Are we reflecting? Is your decision or your opinion in line with our values? Is it in the best interest of AGA Global Ambassadors? Because it's not about any individual. Very key.
And this is wonderful, because what you have there, from what you've just told us, is you've got a very clear structure and a very solid foundation to build up from. And what challenges, because you said that, you know, sometimes there will be differences in opinions, so how have you overcome those sorts of challenges, especially when you're dealing with some, you know, a personality of a culture that is different to the one that you live in?
In terms of the relationship between us and our family in Gambia?
Yes.
Okay. Most of our challenges, Isatu touched on it, is not in the Gambia. It's here.
Okay.
You know, in terms of, with Gambia, it's more about the language and the interpretation. So I'm going to give you one example, which I always remember.
Yeah.
Over here, we say hard copy.
Yes.
If we're printing something off, in the Gambia they say soft copy.
Okay.
And there was an interesting, this was to do with ISA, but soft copy. We're saying hard copy. Just a little example, if you know, so language, interpretation, and we have to remember we're not speaking in our mother tongue.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's one. So we've learned, and what's beautiful is that you gain something.
Yeah.
You know, you get frustrated sometimes, you know, but also the power of social media.
Yes.
If we utilize.
Yeah, absolutely.
It links us globally. So the other thing is that is my
Can you still hear us, Isa, too?
Yes, greetings, I can.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, the other thing is the pace. So we tend to move fast in the Gambia because of the climate. They're a bit more laid back.
Yes.
You know, you can't rush
Yeah.
them. Also, they have a very good spirit. And I think that's because they're on the soil of the ancestors. But their spirit is very calm. You know, you don't hear contention. So if there's a problem, they always say, okay, don't worry. They're very, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't hear shouting. And even the babies, you know, they know. So because they do everything with a family compound, everybody has their responsibility and their duty, but they don't talk about it. You just do it. You know, because, and that's some of the things that we're not benefiting from because we're so detached from where we've come from.
So it sounds like within the personality of the culture in Gambia, you don't really have this individualistic kind of mindset.
No.
You see, everybody's important then because you're part of the whole.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
It's beautiful.
So that it's beautiful for us.
Yeah.
You know, and the sense of appreciation in its purest form. You know, for me, it's made me realize that my needs and my wants are two different things, and it's brought me back to basic needs.
Yes.
Shelter, food, and water.
Yeah.
Those are our basic needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so the things that used to be of significance in my life externally are no more.
Oh.
It's more about the internal.
That's freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Isa too, do you want to talk anything about challenges?
Isa too?
Sorry.
Do you want to say
Greeting.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Would you like to add anything that you've found to be challenging or challenges within the Gambia in comparison to challenges with the organisation of things here?
I think maybe sometimes network and not being able to have that. Not so much how we're communicating. I think they're very visual, and if you explain and show and tell, things work out very well. I just think there's sometimes we have a delay in processes, but I think we've also managed to adapt what we do to be so flexible to incorporate those sometimes time changes in, and also in our planning in terms of events. We plan them in good time and make room for changes. We tend to have plans A, B, and C.
Okay.
And it works well. So I think that, but apart from network, sometimes they'll have struggles for network sometimes. So it's difficult to communicate, but we use all platforms or all available platforms.
I suppose for those who've ever travelled to, like, not if they've not been to the continent, if they've travelled to the Caribbean from very early ages, and they've been not in the city but more within the rural areas or the countryside, they will have an appreciation for the complete different from concrete jungle to a natural environment and how to operate in a natural environment. They'll have an appreciation. I still think that going to Africa and being in Africa is still a step up in that way because it's ancestral.
Yes.
So would you like to explain about the because I see images here of a school that you did, or you were part of building for a school?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Brenda, our Miss B, she's had several positions in the organisation. Extremely committed member, and absolutely full of ideas. And following a dolly outfit saga in the family, Brenda put a challenge for me to create a dress or Africanize a dolly that she had for 30 years. And after one outfit came another and another, and then Brenda, which, you bring one thing to Brenda and Brenda brings you another idea. So it was, well, why don't we Africanize this and why don't we Africanize that? And we started to, and then I think we went somewhere and put these things out, became another idea. Well, why don't we now, sell these things and that donation goes towards the cost of our shipping? And that's how it, so the items are usually just very simple things that we've either bought or people have donated, and they're just covered in fabric. And Brenda sets a challenge and I tried to meet that challenge, and it's drawn out a creative side that I guess was somewhere buried.
Wonderful. This is great.
So we're totally enjoying that.
That's great.
There's so many benefits. I tell you, I think we do this, and there's so much, as Isa too mentioned about Brenda, Miss B, we call her.
Miss
and
B.
Miss B came to Gambia with us.
Yes.
Again, one of our clients, and very talented sister. Determined and proactive, and had a love and a passion for what we do, and kept us on our toe. She keeps us on our toe as well. So yes, that in terms of how we met, the conversation you had with Isa, that
yes,
being here today.
Yeah.
The creative side came out of Isa, and those items, as I said, they're small items, but every mickle, as Miss B would say, every mickle make a muckle.
That's true. Yeah.
And we would say one cocoa fill basket.
Yes.
So sometimes we try and look outside for everything.
Yeah.
But everything we need is within us.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that Aga's brought out. I mean, I'm going to go back to the Health Awareness Day because we're doing another Health Awareness Day this year. We're
Yes.
going out to Gambia in December.
Okay.
Twofold. But we had an idea to do something to do with health, because our health is our wealth.
Yes.
And we saw the need there. Because, sugar, they use a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
All those stuff. And everything that goes on the continent is secondary. So we thought, well, what could we do? Just a simple thing.
Yeah.
Something to do with health and hygiene.
Yes.
Washing your hands.
Yeah.
You know, something simple as that.
Yeah.
So we did the Health Awareness Day, £400 budget.
Okay.
We contributed to that.
Yeah.
Put a call out to our community for blood pressure machines, blood sugar monitors, and we were inundated, you know, and we went out. We did that. It was a great success, and raised the profile of the health centre that we have been supporting for many years. So that this year, I mean, we were on the TV and all that stuff out there, and it was high profile. So this year they're doing it. So what we did, we taught them how to fish, because that's what we do. It's not about creating a dependency. It's about teaching them how to fish, then how to make the rod and the net, and then they can feed themselves for a lifetime. So we're so proud that we're going back. The Health Awareness Day will be held on the 19th of December,
The second one.
and they've organised it this year. Whereas we're supporting, whereas before, first one we organised and guided, so they're doing it this year. So we're going back out for that. But I mean, there's just so much out of the Health Awareness Day as well. We were given land.
Wow.
On the day,
wow, amazing.
the elder of the community centre, Mr. Sol, and the chief, they came and said, look, we want to give you some land, because another vision was we want to build a community centre. And they gave us the land that day.
That's beautiful.
It was such a moment for me.
Such a blessing, yeah.
So that's our next project for 2019.
Okay.
And where we're at the moment in terms of that, what we're going to be doing is we haven't actually launched it, I will say it now. We are putting out to our community, because everything we've achieved is via our community. It's via our, and we keep our community up to date. You know, on what we're doing. We're doing a buy a block, £3 a block. The community is going to build that community centre with us.
That's fantastic. And
we've already we've had quite a good interest. I got this idea in June. So you can buy a block for £3, and or how many blocks you want to. And then what we're going to do, the vision is we're going to have the names of ancestors, so you can say, who do you want a name to be on the block? So it's a legacy building. What we're doing here, we're going to leave a legacy. So if you bought a block and you said, I want my grandmother's name to be on that block, around the building we're going to have the names of people that, whether it's the person that donated the block or whatever, so that building can be there to serve the community for generations.
It's absolutely
That's
beautiful.
going to be our project in 2019.
A beautiful project, sis. Absolutely beautiful. And really embracing for the whole community. This is wonderful. Give thanks.
We have to, I'm about, my word is my bond. And integrity is my #1 value.
Yeah, of course.
And we can organise. We do the mobilising very well, but we need to really focus on the organising and put our individual, personal differences, park it. And come together for the purpose. Forget the position, because a lot of us focus on the position. We need to focus on the purpose.
Very true.
You know, and it's not easy. You know, I'm not trying to say it's easy, but we've got to look at the purpose, think about the legacy, because those before us did it with less than what we have. So why can't we do it? Put the interference to one side. You know, find something, find your purpose. You know, this is what keeps me going. You know, and Isa too, Miss B, Sister Sonia, you know, Brother Michael. Have I missed anybody? Who am I missing out? Isa too? Sister Denise.
And Yvonne and Brother Leonard.
Sister Yvonne, Brother Leonard, you know, and the Gambian, you know, Keba, you know, Mr. Danso, Lamin, Cherno, you know, all our committee members, on both here and in the Gambia. We couldn't do this without them. And the community, I have to keep on, because every call out we've put, you know, we've got donators that recommend us. You know, one day I did 5 pickups in one day.
Wonderful. This is amazing. It's amazing to see how people have really understood your vision and have actually been supportive to that vision, because very often we see projects without that support of that vision, and it's so wonderful to hear that within the community we have a lot of foresight going on. In our community, and lots of people starting to make those moves forward. And do you find that as you go along, more people keep wanting to come and join in?
Yes, but what we also have to do is, and going back to where we are, and everybody wants to join, but what is the purpose of you wanting to join? Because there's always got to be that why, because whatever we've created, and Isa 2, I'm going to let Isa 2 speak about this because this is her forte.
Okay.
Damage limitation.
Okay.
Isa 2?
So, yes, in terms of the committee members, we ask for a level of commitment for a minimum of 1 year to the position. And usually people express an interest in the first instance. So, you know, they usually would have said, you know, I would be interested. So, for example, Brother Michael, I remember when he came into the store when he was in Gambia, and he looked around and he said, you know, I'd like to be involved in this. And that's when you know somebody's passionate. They've identified with what the vision is, even without discussion. Because for anybody else, they were looking at a room full of bags and boxes and tables, and it didn't make sense. But like Brother Michael, and he has come on board and has been the donations coordinator. And I feel like everybody adds a different skill, a different set of experiences, and we work well together, especially if we're working towards a project. I am apologizing to Awesome Anime, who I struggle to understand how I haven't mentioned her, but Anna's significant in terms of the health. And we had a subgroup, and 6 of us worked together to, you know, organize and prepare. And Anime prepared awesome feedback afterwards about how we worked well together and how the team worked well and what we brought as individuals and how it worked collectively for it to work. And in Gambia, Cherno explains himself as a raw material, and through the organizing he's seen how he could improve himself and improve what he does in the workplace, and they have done that. They've built relationships with health organizations that were next door that they didn't have relationships with.
This is amazing. It's fantastic. You can see the energy is just flowing here.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What is that?
and you know what? The energy, and it is. You can, and you know, I'm here talking and I'm listening to Isa too, but because we just do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm just thinking about when we have the team days when we're packing and sorting. We're just all there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Miss B will bring a tuck shop, and you know, we set up the tuck shop, and anything we put in there goes back into the organizer.
Yeah.
We just, it's an example. We, you know, we've got a model, and we don't have to shout it out. You know, we strategically do what we do. But I want to go back to the point in terms of the damage limitation. Everybody will want to come on board because of what they see. Touching on what Isa too said about Brother Michael in the Gambia when he came in and saw her in the room sorting and packing the donations, because we used to do it in the Gambia before, but now we do it here.
Why is that?
Time.
Okay.
It's better you put the work in here, and you've got more time there because you know, it's a lot of
a different pace.
Yes. So we do it all here now. We've got it down to a T. Fine art.
Wonderful.
So everybody wants to come on board, but for different reasons. So that's why we have the values as well. And they have to, anybody that shows interest in us, they have to do a values exercise. So they might not know what our values are. So they do an exercise. If they get 3 out of the 5, then But if they get one, we're not saying you can't support us or work with us, but we've got to have something in common to start with. A common, because the values are your moral compass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but we have to protect. I'm very overprotective. I think Isa's more. I'm the founder, but Isa's more protected.
Yes.
You know, and she is. She's very obsessive sometimes to the point where she doesn't trust anybody. You know, and she will protect.
Yes.
You know, our systems.
Yes.
You know, our templates. But we have to, because when you have something that is working, as you said, the energy is flowing through it, you know, and it's making a difference, you can't just leave it out there open.
No,
you know. So we're very strategic. We've been doing this a long time. We've learned lessons along the way.
Of course.
You know, we've had people just come in to get the information.
Oh, yeah, of course. There are,
and then they go.
Yeah.
You know.
There are, we do have we do see that happen often. But it's the strength of your values.
Yes.
And it's because you're all operating from, when you say you mentioned integrity and commitment and other things like this. I often like to say, you either have a clean heart and a clean mind, or you don't.
That's right.
You're one or the other. And if you're operating from a clean heart and a clean mind, you will have that kind of togetherness, because there is no ulterior motive. It's just pure honesty.
That's right. That's right.
And that's beautiful to see that example within our community.
Yeah, and everything that we're saying here, we can back it up.
Yeah.
You know, we've had, you know, people try and attack us on different levels, because when you're doing good, that's what happens. You know, it comes with the territory, you know. But as Isa says, we've got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
We don't focus on anything that is not going to benefit us or our community, both here. And then through AGA coming together, we support other organs. So we met you at Auntie Jean's African Market, you know, Rise Up to Auntie Jean. Auntie Jean came on our trip.
Wonderful.
You know, her and her husband. That's how I met her.
Yeah.
You know, so each one teach one, and we motivate each other. So all of us are not, we can't all be leaders. Yeah? So those that are, you know, you lead. And then what will happen?
Others will follow. But what I like about your style is that you mentioned something earlier, which was a very good model, is that people, each individual in your team, it's their strengths, and you, because of your energy and this fluidity that's happening and this integrity and honesty and so on, what is happening is that you're breaking barriers and rising up the greater qualities in each of those individuals. And because there is the space and time to do that, and you it's done with equal and mutual respect. So this enables a person to give their trust to what you're doing.
I love that analogy.
Faith.
I love that, and you said that to me when we spoke.
Yeah.
I love how you just explained that, and that's the key, because we are energy people.
Yeah, energy.
And we need to tap into to the vibration.
Yeah.
And I am an energy being. I'm one of those, and it's naturally in me. I know now, I acknowledge it, because I understand who I am through personal development.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm able to manage. So when the challenges come, or think something that makes me feel uncomfortable, rather than get consumed by it, I'm thinking, actually, I need to keep going, because my vision is bigger than this, and you're facing your own challenges.
Yeah, that's great.
And there's no vibes, you know, I don't, you know, there's no judgment. I practice non-attachment. Yeah. You know.
Fantastic.
And that's how we do it. And Isa, when Isa came on board, when she came on board, Isa has a way of, you've met Isa, she has this
lovely
expression on her face, that if you look through the eyes, because the eyes are very deceiving, she's serious, the missus says she's serious. And when we're on round the table and we're doing, and she just keeps it moving, she got, right, okay, fine. And some of the committee members were like, oh God, you know.
She's serious, but when I met her, there's such a warmth.
But you see, but initially, if we go by that initial, you see, but what she was bringing to us, we didn't, understand that value until we started to see, you know, the benefits, you know. And as I said, I rise her up. She's my sister. And we've got such a beautiful example of sisterhood. You know, and we have our little moments here. You know.
Is that right, Isa too?
Thank you, Sister Angie. Thank you, Sister Angie. Thank you so much. And, you know, I'm grateful to Aga to allow me to do what I do and to try to be the best of what I try to do. Because I've learned so much, and especially for Brenda, who's, you know, she's motivated me to do other things which add benefit to the organisation. And, you know, we've just worked very well together in terms of her ideas and my organising, and then what we bring to the group, and coupled with all the other individuals, it works very well.
Yeah, the Health Awareness Day was awesome. We executed that. So, oh my God. Oh, I tell you, it was hard, but you know what? We just had the vision, you know, and every month we met and you know, it was around the table when we was preparing who's going to do this, who's going to do that, you know, and we whittled down, we had an action plan, broke it down, and fantastic. it was awesome.
And what's really nice is that it's, let's say, I'll just give the analogy of cooking a meal. So say somebody's chopping the onions, someone started to put the oil on, the other person is washing the bowl, and it's this whole circle of just working together in harmony.
Precisely.
Because there's no I'm bigger than you, or you're bigger than, oh, I don't like how she's getting a bit more vegetable than me to chop up, or she's got to do the washing up, or there's none of that sort of thing. It's just clean, just that clean energy, and that is amazing. Isa too. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
You were saying something.
Sorry. Go again.
You were going to say something. You were when Sister was saying about the energy and how holistic
and how we come together. I was about to say like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. Like a
jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So and also everybody adds value. And the measurement of how that value is added as well. It's not, you know, I'm doing more than you or you're doing, you know, less. It's about what you bring and how that adds value to what we're actually executing.
And because you're operating from that space, you wouldn't have all this like issues with this emotion of envy and this emotion of upmanship and all of these negatives. And I like the fact that with your group, you actually, like you said, you keep it moving, so you don't, your project, the things that you're doing, the different umbrellas to it, don't actually get clouded with distractions, because these things distract you from the focus, as you were saying, of what you were doing. And that's, I think, one of the key things, is not to get sucked in to things that completely, it's like a ship, you're allowing the wind, if you don't get the sail set, the wind can blow you off course.
And that's why we've got different the different skills.
Yeah, and I also think we're focused on what we've got to do. And, you know, we may set out an action plan, and we may not always follow the action plan, but if we need to execute something, that is the goal, that is the target. And it's about how do we get there, how do we achieve that? You know, and if there's something, there's a challenge, let's try and find a solution to that challenge and move forward.
Yeah, and that's what I love as well. When we face the challenge, we say, right, how can we move forward from this point, you know, and it's about the solution. So or you can get stuck in the challenge, and you notice I don't say problem.
Yes,
notice the words that. Because that's another thing as well. Words, sound and power.
Yes.
And we've got to be so mindful what we put out to the universe.
Yeah, true.
You know, and so I always use the word challenge. Yeah. And so now we know what the challenge is. What is the solution?
Absolutely. Perfect. Yes, that's it.
Or you can get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because remember, there's a vision ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. I'm not saying, and I'm speaking it because we're doing it.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
But it took us a lot. It took a lot for us to get to this point. Actually overstand the formula, because we created the formula, so we now have to just execute it, and we just keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. So
it's a model that works.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And there's different elements. You know, I follow our honourable ancestor Marcus Mosiah Garvey, because he, you know, there is model, there are blueprints, black prints, they're there, it's there. You know, and I remember when I started to study him, I thought, who inspired him? Booker T. Washington. So I read his book. You know, and over the years, the personal development, you know, and as you get mature, you know, the things that were important when you were younger become less important. So now it's about the value. So I appreciate my sistering. I appreciate Aga. I appreciate supporting, you know, selective. I don't put myself anywhere, you know, where I'd be up there running about and no. What benefit I'm going to get from going to this event, or what benefit am I going to get from going to, you know, this seminar? You know, so it's always constantly building, and also how am I going to impact on my community? And I just want to talk about a bit, if I can, how we've gone off. So through AGA and, you know, the network, which is our net worth, you know, we're now able to collaborate with other organizations whose values are aligned with ours. It's not about just going out there and, you know, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm going to kind of veer more towards vegetarians, you know, but I don't mind the meat eaters, you know, it just depends what you're bringing, you know. You know, so, you know what I mean. You know, so a bit more selective now in my life, because I appreciate life. You know, I want to sustain my life. So, and the people that are around you, their energy, and it can really impact on you if you don't know who you are. It's about knowing who you are and owning who you are. You know, so if I know who I am, so if you come and say to me, Sister Angie, you're such and such, you're a beautiful being. Yes. Thank you very much. That's who I am. I'm not going to say, oh, no. I'm not at that stage anymore. I'm owning my power, you know. So leading on to Manhood Academy, we collaborate. We're now doing we've organised the group. We're going out with 12 young masters. I'm hoping we'll be on your show.
And we'll be having you back with us next week to actually expand on this area. But if we just have like,
so just
an overview.
you know, we just, so that's out of, you know, the journey all those years ago, you know, going to Mama Africa, AGA Global Ambassadors. We've now, you know, Manhood, Davis J. Williams, he was one of our clients on one of our journeys. And the idea was born in Gambia. You know, at the Rites of Passage he came, one of the Roots festivals. And the idea happened on Kunta Kinte Island. That's where he got the idea for Manhood Academy.
That is amazing.
Came back and executed it. And now AGA Tours is going back with those young masters for their Rites of Passage. So you'll hear more about that next week, family. And then off of that, I'm also co-founder of Sisters Empowerment Circle.
Okay. And that's that's a different you'll be coming back for
so you know what I'm showing you, as you said, going back to the energy, the flow, you know, and I'll talk about, I just want to plug the Sisters Empowerment because we've got an event tomorrow on finance. So I'll give out my number and so on, but I'm just showing you how you know it's benefited, you know, that foundation, that core. So
but clearly there was we needed to start having this within our community, this kind of working together and collaborations without any motives or egotistical perspectives. We needed to start seeing, and you've shown this, it's kind of like a drop in the ocean, but that drop, look how it's expanded and gone further afield. And I think when people start to see the example of this more, and start to understand and have and listen to this program that we have here tonight with you, they'll start to think about how they're doing their organizations, how they're doing their structures, because we've had many businesses, but one of the things that we haven't had is sustainability, because of those key things that you were just saying about having things organized and in a way that there's a template. So basically everyone's singing off the same song sheet. Yeah,
and that's important, and because of AGA,
yes,
I bring that template to every other organisation that I'm affiliated with. You know, I know it works.
Yeah.
So even when I collaborate, you know, what I'm offering is I have a model here that if you would allow, you know, and the thing is for me, because I know it works, I ain't got time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going to think about position and not purpose, or you're going to be thinking competition instead of collaborating, you know, then that's where we start. We have to have, there's a grey area, so we need to cover that. We need to deal with that grey area. You know, I'm clear now. Sister Isa has also learnt me so much. I've learnt a lot from her. We've all benefited from each other. And you know, I was like, I'm like the heart of the organisation. Isa too, organising, functioning. Does this work? Is it for the benefit? You know, so when I'll say, oh, you know, okay, don't worry, we'll just do it. She'll say, excuse me, have you got the evidence here? Have they shown you the receipt? How do you know that's true? You know, so
this
she brings me back.
This is a great quality, Isa too.
Awesome. Isa too? Isa?
Sorry, greetings. I was on mute. So thank you very much. It's not always perceived as a great quality.
Yes.
And, you know, I take that on board.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's about the protection of what we're doing, and sometimes we can't all see. There are a lot of avenues to, you know, to pass through. So, and you know, I think sometimes you need that kind of tag team and collectiveness so that everybody's eyes on something else. But as a collective, we make sure we're trying to aim towards what we wish to achieve. And sometimes we forget those little things. You know, and I'm just maybe a little bit more obsessive than the next person about making sure, you know, those things are in order and processes are worked to, so that it protects the investment, you know, in the organisation.
I think that's having very strong organisational skills. You're very organised, so that's such a key strength to have and to be able to bring and offer to, you know, the things that you're doing together as a collective. I think that's because without those sorts of things, you know, things can like slip quite a lot.
Yeah.
And how have you found the transition as transition as in the development of the project? Because you've been with the project for quite some time, Isa too.
So I think it depends. I think initially we have so many different ideas. And we could have an idea and we may be working with that idea, and then when we're on the ground we see that something may have changed there, which may make us have to adjust what we wish to do, or even something here, or as we progress and move forward. So it's nice challenges, you know. It's not something that's adding stress, it's always adding benefit, and if it's not, we remove it and we keep moving. So I think it's been interesting because I think we've all learned something, and the benefit of seeing, I think that's something that we can never express in any words. When you see, you know, the Gambian community receiving the donations, and you know what it means to them, and the messages that they send back, you know, sending prayers for, you know, Gambia, the AGA Global Ambassadors UK and the entire community. It's amazing, and I think that helps you to motivate you to keep moving forward. You know, especially if you've been there and you've had that experience, it's very easy for you to, you know, many people come back and it's an immediate clear out.
Yeah.
I no longer realize that I don't need this. I don't need to put this down for a rainy day anymore, because I've seen people who would benefit from this now, today.
Isa, can you talk about Keba, please?
Keba ranks. Keba, he's the secretary of the committee, and I'm going to talk about Lamin as well, because they're the longest standing members of the committee in the Gambia, and Lamin is the president. But Keba has learned so much from being with the organisation, and I think that's another thing that why it's so easy to work in Gambia. You know, the community is receptive to wanting to learn. So, you know, Keba does an awful lot. You know, it may be a phone call today. Keba, can you go and check this? Keba, can you take a picture of this? Until now, Keba's got the process that he can show other committee members the process. So Keba doesn't do anything. If Keba wants to let you know it's done, you receive photographic footage of it. You know, and Mr. Danso manages the accounts, and he does so with great accuracy. Very accountable for every last Dallas he spent. And you know, it's been a journey for us trying to get the team together to work with an organisation. This is something that's unique in the Gambia. They see people keep coming back and keep bringing the donations and keep helping, and it's not the regular thing to see from people that look like them.
That's key.
That's wonderful.
So it's taken a journey for them to form as a group and to work together. And you know, there have been many members, and you know, we've had female members, and that didn't work very well. And we finally found a group together that worked well together. It's because it's also for them, you know, a new experience. So Keba works so well with the team. He can, you know, exercise. He actually is an ambassador on the ground for AGA. You know, and he can give you the history, and he actually actively, you know, generates new partnerships for us, because when he's on the ground, he actually covers an awful lot of the organising. And I think we attend twice a year minimum, and we have an AGM there in February, March.
Yeah, we have AGMs.
Yeah,
I sent you the AGM report, didn't I?
So we communicate with the Gambian team by WhatsApp, and you know, just try to keep them motivated. And you know, eventually we'd like for them to run the Gambia office with less support, and hopefully that would generate, you know, employment for at least 2 of the members.
This is wonderful, because it's not just developing people, it's also allowing people the space to grow.
Absolutely.
And spread that growth and share it.
Absolutely.
Another thing that you had said about, what you were saying, Sister Isa, too, then, when you were talking about going over there and, you know, people being developed in a different way. And, Sister, you were just saying, and you were just saying about the donations to people and people seeing that kind of charity. So it's not only doing good works for people, it's also helping people to develop, because, you know, it's give a man a fish, he eats for today, but teach a man how to fish, he eats he eats forever. And this is the structure you seem to be moving by, which there is no ownership to it then, and there's no, oh well, I've done this for you. There's none of that, and it's really nice coming from that clean-hearted place, as I was saying earlier, because now we're building trust and we're building bridges with our motherland.
Yes, and that's so important. You know, leading by example. You know, we can talk a lot.
Yeah.
Some of us have mastered the art of talking.
Yeah.
You know, but where is the action? And I like, you know, the affirmation, well done is better than well said.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, I'm an affirmation junkie.
Yes.
You know?
That's great.
But you have to put the work in. You have to. And I've noticed we've become, some of us, desensitized. Social media has had a, you know, we're armchair revolutionaries, you know. Everything, you know, oh, the likes are so important. You know, but for me, as Chronic said, we're not doing it for the love, the likes. We do it for the love. And you know, so we just got to reset our mindset and press that reset. You know, on your mobile phone, you've got the where you can factory reset. We got to do a factory reset.
Not just an ordinary restart.
No,
reset.
A reset, and we've got to upload a different program.
Yes, true.
You know, because we are programs. There's lots of programs been, you know, loaded all throughout the days now, and we need to actually just stop and say, what is my purpose in life? This journey of life, because we're on the physical plane. We're going to make the transition soon. I have a 92-year-old mother, and she's made me realize, because I've seen my mum, you know, come through the journey of life. But when we make that transition, what have we actually achieved? If tomorrow, you know, we woke up and they said, right, none of this, you can have none of this, you ain't got no home, you ain't got no this, you ain't got, what would we do? What about our children? So I want to be able to write my eulogy. I know what people are going to say about me. You know, and that's not about bragging or boasting, because I said when you own your power and you know who you are and you have your purpose, I can write that, and I know people are going to say, oh, she always a laugh and a joke, she was always busy, Miss Wartboat, you know, she's always doing good, or you know. So that's what we need to be thinking about, because if you're not enjoying life, you're not living.
Yeah, it's true.
So find your purpose, own it and execute it.
Wonderful. That's beautiful, sis. And it's a true fact for all of us to find you.
Absolutely.
Find you. It's a very good point to raise there. And Isatu, how do you feel?
Greetings, sorry, on mute again.
We do conference calls.
Okay.
The mute thing.
So yeah, you know, I'm enjoying giving back. I'm enjoying it. You know, when I get to Gambia, it's such a free feeling. I feel like I stepped into Gambia and stepped into home, somewhere that was home that I just didn't connect with at the time.
Yeah.
And totally enjoy the work I do. The work I do, my paid work, although I enjoy that, enables me to do what I do in Gambia. And the community collectively here and in the Gambia help us to do that. In solidarity with the Gambian family, as it's a predominantly Muslim country, we fast during Ramadan. And we do a collection and donate that to a village. This year, it was donated to the committee members. So we're learning, and I think we're sharing and taking that back and sharing it here with the community, and you know, embracing them, watching them embrace us. I feel like lots of Gambia are very similar to Jamaica for me. Sometimes some areas is like home from home.
Yeah.
This year my mum's coming on the journey.
Wonderful.
Because she's interested to know what's happening in Gambia, why I'm attending Gambia more regular than Jamaica these days.
Wow. Well, I'm sure when she gets there, she'll be definitely like, I'll be coming here again next year instead of JA. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And my mum's been.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So amazing. You know, rise up the Gambia committee here and in the Gambia and the Gambian community. Love what we do.
Fantastic. And
no, I was just saying my mum's been as well.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and my husband's mum and dad's been. So it's important for the elders as well. If we can, you know, we have that opportunity to, you know, my husband would say, just like the Muslims go to Mecca for Hajj, we need to do the same for the continent of Africa. We need to visit the continent at least once in our lifetime.
We need to make it definitely. I get told that very often from my mother because she's been to many countries within Africa. So yes, you are right. Definitely. So for the project for what you're going to do when you go out, do you want to give details again for those who've just tuned in to the tail end of the show?
So I'm going out early December.
Yes.
I'll be the first with Anna, our health coordinator. We're going out together. Isa too will be coming with her mother, her 2 nieces and her daughter.
Beautiful.
Shortly after. So we're doing the Health Awareness Day on the 19th of December at Old Joshua Health Centre in the Gambia, who we've been supporting for quite a few years. And this is our second Health Awareness Day, and our I was just thinking our strapline, whatever the tag is, your health is your wealth.
Wonderful.
So we brought that to Gambia, and you know, they've grasped the concept of your health is your wealth. So you know, when we do the health day, everybody starts, your health is your wealth. And you know, and they like the whole the mic. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Just the basic, we taught them how to wash their hands. Because infection control.
Yes.
You know, and they loved it. You know, they embraced it. So yes, we're going out again. I think there'll be three committee members out this time. Last year all of us went. But because they're doing it, so we're going back to just sit back and just, you know, watch them execute what we've taught them, you know. And so the 19th of December in the Gambia, AGA Global Ambassadors will be hosting our second Your Health is Your Wealth Day. So we're proud of that. And then we've got manhood coming, so we'll talk about that next week.
So for those of you, those listeners who are going to be in the Gambia at this time, please do be supportive to Sister Angie and Isa too, who will be out there doing great works. That's if you are there. Just come along. Just come to Old Joshua. Everybody, they'll know Old Joshua Health Centre, because Gambia is very small, so you know. So come along and see what we're doing, and you know, support as well, and come along and learn, you know, share, encourage, you know. I'm looking forward to that. I'm so looking, because last year was amazing. We were so proud. Wonderful. And could you tell the listeners about the academy tomorrow?
Sisters Empowerment Circle.
Empowerment Circle.
So another one of my branches. Like you said, I'm a tree with many branches. So tomorrow we're having a Sisters Empowerment Day, and it's about it's financial empowerment. So empowering financial freedom. We've got various sisters speaking on financial independence. So at this time of the year, when everybody is looking to support everybody else in terms of I call it the crazy season. I'm not attached to any of that. Thank God. Anyway, but we're looking at ways how you can invest your money, and also that means supporting your own. And so we're going to talk about finances on many levels. So that's going to be held tomorrow between 2 and 5 at 1 to 5 Hinton Road. That's in Loughborough, Brixton. if anybody's interested, they can contact myself on 07903 591 426. That's 07903 591 426. And we hold a Sisters Empowerment Circle once every month. It's on the last Saturday of every month. And we cover different themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you always are you based in the same location, or does it move?
Yes, we're for the most part we are in the same building.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes it easier. Sometimes we go, but we also go and do, like, we were in Birmingham last month, you know. We've got branches in Birmingham, London and Slough, and Leeds. So we've actually expanded in a short space of time. But again, I'll give you a lot more information about that journey. If you'll have me back.
Of course, absolutely.
So, but it's a space for our sisters.
Yes.
You know, because I believe that, you know, we need to come together as one, as women, you know, first and foremost. And again, the model, you know, so it's been amazing, and we're making a difference. And our sisters, we create a sacred space. We do meditation, you know, mindful meditation. We do yoga. We have a listening room where sisters, it's not a counseling room or a counseling service, but you come in and you just listen. We hold a space and you just speak, you just let off, you know, filter. You know, and then we've got a young Sisters Empowerment Circle, you know, so there's lots that we do, and we're growing. We're in our second year. So so come along, sisters, and just feel pampered and share some love, and we don't care what your beliefs are, what your status, you know, your religion. We don't do any of that, because these are barriers. So we just come together as one. All right, so you can come however you want to come. You're welcome.
That's wonderful. So and that's a really beautiful works to be doing, because we find that sometimes within our community we have echoes of the plantation within our behaviors, and that is defeatist to where we're trying to get to with, you know, unity. And so it's nice to see that there is those spaces to be able to do talk therapy.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's wonderful, because, you know, being able to share in a safe space, and also be able to talk to somebody who will possibly be able, or another sister be able to have words of wisdom and comfort for that person, and help to streamline that detachment, like you were saying, detaching yourself from those kinds of emotions that are clogging, like our fluidity and focus as well.
Absolutely.
You know, Isa2. Hello, Isa2.
Greetings.
We've really got into this mute thing,
So how do you how do you feel about the empowerment circles, and have you how are you finding them for you in your experience?
So I haven't attended many of the sister empowerment circles.
Yes.
But this is something I can remember from ever since.
Yes.
Angie had this, whatever else Angie was doing, she needed to have a circle for women, a space, a platform. And I think the Sisters Empowerment Circle has brought that. But what Angie hasn't mentioned is, outside of that Sisters Empowerment Circle, Angie is a walking Sisters Empowerment Circle. As she has done so much for so many different women on so many different levels outside of the Sisters Empowerment Circle, as that has also done for Angie. And even recently we went out for a meal with some of the parents of the young children who are going to the Gambia. You know, that was a space with women we'd not met each other before, was a small group of men and women. I'm not going to forget that. Brother Dennis. And what was nice is we had an open and honest conversation with each other without fear or distrust, or and shared very close and emotional stuff with each other, and took away benefit. And from that, it was actually, we need a living room space that we can have these conversations. And I feel like the Sisters Empowerment Circle is a foundation for that. And having that space, I think it's important for us to talk. It's important for us to express ourselves and communicate effectively with each other. And it's not something that many of us were born into. We were born into or raised in a time where actually, you know, definitely for little girls, you were seen and not heard.
Absolutely, yeah, this is true.
And I feel like this generation has broken the cycle, and we're now saying speak up and rise up. And that's what Sisters Empowerment Circle equals for me.
Wonderful. It's beautiful.
And our story is very important, and that's one of the things I promote in the Sisters Empowerment. If you don't tell your story,
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sis?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. So if you can hear me, then the listeners can hear me then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the story, what I was saying about the story is that if you tell your story could save another person's life. Because as Isa2 was saying about, we came from a generation is, you know, you don't talk your business outside, you keep everything inside. And I think that's one of our major problems. That is one of our major obstacles, is that we don't allow ourselves to express because we're more important, we're more concerned with the embarrassment, you know. And my mum would say, pride don't feel pain.
Yeah.
So when you internalize things, it goes somewhere in your body.
Yeah.
It you know, and it will attach itself to an organ.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of you know, and I mean, I've done this work, so I know, you know, and because I'm in tune with my body now. Like I had this, you know, I've got fractured ankle, and I know why I got this fractured ankle. You know? So I was dealing with my mum and emotionally, so it went somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, so we've got to get in tune with who we are. So that's why I say about your story can save. And I know the Sisters Empowerment Circle has had some revelations. And when one sister shares her story, you want to see that rippling effect, because another sister was saying, do you know what? I've been struggling in this area for a long time.
Oh, you see?
And this is what we have to start, and that's why it's good to come together.
Yeah, creating those safe spaces where trust and confidentiality remains. Like, what's beautiful, because you operate from that place of integrity. So people can be in that space and say things from their truths, whether it's painful or not painful. And I think we've just lost Isa2 there.
Oh, okay.
Painful or not painful, and just really share and just allow some of that emotional baggage that's, like you were saying, trapped inside your cells to start releasing, to give you that space. It's about freedom.
Yes, and that's the ultimate. And also, if you see me at the Sisters Empowerment Circle, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes.
I've my inner child. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is being who you are.
Yes.
So when people, you allow, again, I use the word allow.
Yeah.
We're at different stages, you know, in our life. And as I said, it's not about judge. I don't judge.
Yeah.
I don't do that. And I think that's another area we need to look at.
Yeah.
We're so easy to critique others.
Yeah.
You know, but my mum said, when you're pointing a finger to somebody else, there's a finger pointing back at you.
Yeah.
And words belong to the owners.
Yes. Yeah.
So when words are coming out of other people's mouths directed at you, it's not you.
No.
They're telling you about themselves.
Yeah.
So listen clearly.
Yeah.
You know, because you'll learn something as well.
Yeah.
But we need to just be mindful, be present. you know, and allow and accept.
Yeah.
You know, the things that we cannot change.
Yeah.
Most of our problems are not our problems.
We
take them on board.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I love anything to do with personal development.
Yeah.
And I say each of us needs all of us.
Yeah.
No man's an island.
True.
So when you see me doing my thing in the sisters, I'm not putting on. I'm being who I am. Sometimes I get excited and I start running up and down, and you know, when I hear something, I see my sisters, I get excited.
Yeah.
You know, so be who you are. Love your own and be yourself.
It's very true. Very true. And we're almost to the end of the show.
Wow.
Almost to the end, not quite.
Wow.
Sister Angie, I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing, you know, about the AGA, and just telling us what really you're doing and how you're making it work, and some of the founding principles that are a great model for our community, and also the safe spaces of the Women Empowerment Circle, and also the progress of the Manhood Academy.
And there's a womanhood as well, but we'll touch on that next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, sister, I want to thank you. And you know why I want to thank you? Because when we were in that space, obviously I wasn't there when you was having the conversation with Sister Isa.
Yeah.
And you rang me.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, just remind me, because, you know, like,
yeah.
And again, another example of when we acknowledge each other. So when I'm walking down the road and I see my sister, greet your sister.
Yeah.
Even if your sister doesn't respond.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You've acknowledged your sister.
Yeah. It's important.
So when we met, it's, you know, you've got a beautiful energy.
Thank you.
Beautiful energy. And that's what I was saying about the attraction. You know, and I thank you, humbly thank you, for allowing us to have this time in this space right here, right now. And I want to also rise up, man.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yes.
You know, for also allowing me.
Natty.
Yeah. I'm really, really grateful and I appreciate this time. So thank you, sister.
No, thank you
and
too.
Rise
thank
up,
you. Yes.
Blessed. Bless Radio. Rise up, Bless Radio.
Yeah, and thank you. Give thanks. It's a blessing to actually hear progress and truths and honesty and things that are coming from a safe space of clean-heartedness and are operating in the true honor of Mahat. This is what we call a true reflection of our community. It's unity.
Yes.
It's freedom.
And sister, I want listeners to take some of what they've heard tonight.
Yes.
You know, and just try.
Yeah.
Just try, you know. We are the chief executives of ourselves.
True.
You know, so you know, I'm a chief exec of me. And I'm a challenger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a bystander, I'm not a colluder. I'm a challenger. The only way change is effective is if you challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be the change you want to see. So listeners, please, I hope that you've taken, or you can take something from what you've heard from us, Isa too, you know, myself, and also yourself, you know, and that we honor this space and this airway that we have. You know, Bless Radio has given us this opportunity. Media is powerful.
Very powerful.
And we know what those that don't look like us have done with media.
This is true.
Appreciate this station.
Yes.
And I'm really honoured.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, give thanks. It's a blessing, sis. Honestly, it's a blessing. So give thanks. I want to say give thanks to Isa too as well. I hope she's still listening on the other end. So we want to say give thanks for her contribution to this as well. But another beautiful sister in the community. And I'd like to say thank you to all the listeners out there who've given us their ear for the past couple of hours. I thank you to Man, to Natty. And I wish you all a fantastic week. For those of you who have got the time and space tomorrow, please do support Sister Angie and I at the Women's
Sisters Empowerment Circle.
And can you just say the location again, please?
It's 1 to 5 Hinton Road, and that is in Brixton. I'm trying to remember, SE5. I think 0HF, but don't quote me. Yeah, give me a call on 07903 591 426 if you'd like to come along or get further information about our Sisters Empowerment Circle. We're there every month for our sisters. Thank you.
And thank you. And wishing you all a fantastic weekend, and see you all again here this time next week at 8 o'clock. Sister Angie will be with us next week to talk about the Manhood Academy that she's part of. So the last track that I'm going to play out for you tonight is by Keety Roots, and it is called Faith in Jah. Here we go.
It can fill fountains. Young push the tempest by. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, 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 oh. I feel like I could climb a mountain, swim the deepest sea. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, 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 I feel like I could climb a mountain, swim the deepest sea. For it is written, who Jah bless, no man curse, no. Put your trust in Him, you shall never thirst, no way. Come along and take a dip in the river of life. Hey, there Jah will make everything alright. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, 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 I feel like I could climb a mountain, swim the deepest sea. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, 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 I feel like I could climb a mountain, swim the deepest sea. It is written, lean not on own understanding and strength, no. Cause on mankind, well, you can never depend away. Jah sent His Son to guide I and die. Hey, still the storms raging in our lives. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, 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 I feel like I could climb a mountain, swim the deepest sea. My faith in Jah is so. Oh, oh, oh,
cigarette smoking in my room. Yeah, I still want Marley. Bless FM radio, playing good.
Campro Entertainment presents Melissa's DJ